This day in Philly sports history is proud to be a part of the Clashing Conferences Sports Fan Network, where passionate fans make powerful content. Check out theclashingconferences.com and join the squad today. What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly sports history for June 5th, 2026. I'm your host, Joe Montgomery. Welcome to a Thursday edition of the podcast. And is it officially hitting season for the Phillies? 6-4 win yesterday, completed the sweep of the Padres. Series sweep for the season. And we talked about the Rockies when they did it a couple years ago last week. This is the first time, or only the fourth time, they've done this in franchise history, sweeping a season series of six or more games, but they scored more than 4 runs. They got more than 10 hits. Well, they got 10 hits exactly, but is it hitting season? They had some missed opportunities as well. They could have blown this game wide open. Shouldn't have been as close as it was. Adolis Garcia with a home run. Seems like maybe, just maybe, his extra work in the batting cage could be paying off. But like, weather's heating up. We're in the middle of, or about to be in a heat wave. It's steamy. Charlie Manuel used to say it's hitting season. I don't know. Schwarber usually heats up in June too. The pitching staff has been lights out, so we'll continue to go with that. But if the season ended today, and of course we know the season doesn't end today, the Phillies would be in the playoffs. So sort of a good, we talked about getting above 500 and chasing down those teams. Now it's time to maintain, and maybe let's go on a little run ourselves. And just because we went on a run to get to this point doesn't mean we can't go on another one. Let's do it. Zach Wheeler was great, 7 innings pitch. 1 bad pitch, gave up a home run, but struck out 8. The team, I don't think it's any coincidence that the team has been playing better since he returned from the IL. I'll take it. The White Sox come in for a weekend series. Looking forward to that. They've been playing well this year, so this should be a good chance, but I think the mindset of this team needs to remain the same, at least through the All-Star break. Win series. That's it. Take 2 of 3 from the White Sox, and we'll be okay. The Westchester University Golden Rams lost Game 1 of their Division II championship series yesterday in extra innings. Rough way to lose that, but they're back at it tonight, and we'll be sure to update you on Monday on how they do. Yesterday's trivia question, I asked who are the only Phillies to hit home runs from both sides of the plate in the same game, in honor of Freddie Galvis, who did it yesterday. Jimmy Rollins, of course, was everybody's guess. He actually did it twice. But the other two, not necessarily known for their power. Tomas Perez, and one of my favorites, Steve Jeltz, did it back in the 80s. So J-Roll, Freddie Galvis, Tomas Perez, and Steve Jeltz are the ones who have hit home runs for the Phillies from both sides of the plate in the same game. All right, some quick housekeeping notes. Be sure to follow me on all social media platforms at Philly Jimbo. Continue to spread the word, but on social media, man, that's the real place or the best place, I should say, to vote in the tournament. These games have been close. We had another tie yesterday, so your vote absolutely could matter. So be sure to get me your vote. It takes 30 seconds to look up some of these guys to get your things, so you know what to expect. But Philly Jimbo on all social media platforms. I've been been having some conversations and discussions with my partner on the Philly Hall, Steve Scalish. We have a lot of similar connections, which is crazy since I've only met him in November. But come over to my social media at Philly Jimbo. And, of course, check out the Philly Hall, the official podcast of the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame. myself and Steve Scalish. We talked. It's more just conversational. I like it. It's not like, I mean, it's structured. I shouldn't say it's not structured, but it's just us kind of reliving our Philly sports memories. So come over, check it out. You won't be disappointed. And of course, continue to spread the word and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jimbo_Mott. But get those votes in. Your vote matters. Whether you're coaching Little League, crushing your fantasy league, or just rolling up to a bachelor party like a Philly legend, Lotwin custom hype chains bring the energy. Fully customizable, totally unforgettable, and guaranteed to turn you into the MVP of the moment. Great for teams, groomsmen, or anyone who wants to show off with some serious swagger. Go to Lotwin.com, use the promo code TCCPOD, and get 10% off your own custom hype chain. Lotwin, let's get hyped together. All right, June 5th. First, we're going to go back to 1948, and the Phillies sweep both ends of a doubleheader out in St. Louis, 4-2 and 6-5. Rookie Richie Ashburn went 1 for 4 in Game 1, went 3 for 4 in Game 2 with a double, extending his hitting streak to 23 consecutive games, tying a Major League record for rookies. Ashburn, of course, in his rookie season would be an all-star, finished third in Rookie of the Year voting, and we're about 2 years away. I think this is the season the seeds were planted for the Whiz Kids, but Richie Ashburn extended his hitting streak to 23 games, hitting in both ends of a doubleheader, tying a Major League record for rookies for a hitting streak. And that leads us directly into today's trivia question. Who holds the rookie hitting streak record in Major League Baseball history? Richie did it in 23 games. That's not even top 10 right now. So who holds the record and how many games is it? Hit me up on the Back to the Future voice and text line 267-495-8531. That'll get you in, get that. Anything else Philly sports related off your chest, call in to answer the question. Give your vote for the tournament. I'm telling you, your vote matters. Fast forward then to 1977. Sixers tried to force a Game 7 in the NBA Finals against the Blazers. Blazers were up 12 at halftime, but the Sixers mounted a furious comeback led by Dr. J's game-high 40 points. They got it within 2 with about 18 seconds left and had 2 very good looks at it by Dr. J and George McGinnis to send it into overtime. Both of them fell short, and of course, the Blazers were able to grab the rebound. Bill Walton grabbed it, kicked it out, and the Blazers won the championship. 109-107. They won 4 straight after losing the first 2 games to the Sixers. We talked about that brawl that sort of ignited the Blazers near the end of Game 2. There is a Philly tie, though, for the Blazers winning. Dr. Jack Ramsey from Philadelphia was the head coach of the Blazers, but the season ended on this day in 1977 for the Sixers. Fast forward to 1984, and the Eagles franchise changed forever on this day. It was the NFL supplemental draft for college seniors who had signed with the USFL or the CFL. The Eagles had the 4th pick and took, out of Tennessee, defensive end Reggie White. Reggie would go on to spend 2 years in the USFL with the Memphis Showboats, ended his career with 23.5 sacks. And man, if those 23.5 sacks had been in the NFL, which the way Reggie was, if you've ever seen Reggie play, you know he was dominant. Reggie would have like a 20-plus lead over Bruce Smith in the all-time sack record. But instead, he's number 2, just off the pace. But man, 23.5 sacks in 2 years in the USFL. Combine that with over 190 in the NFL. Dude was a stud. But on this day, the Eagles selected Reggie White 4th in the NFL supplemental draft out of Tennessee. He would go on to Memphis, but then we all know what happened when he got here in Philly. And then in 1997, after going up 1-0 in the first period on a John LeClair power play goal, Flyers give up 6 straight goals, lose Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals 6-1. They go down 0-3, or 3-0 in the series, and had their backs against the wall, and it wasn't looking good. Scotty Bowman and the Detroit Red Wings had figured out how to neutralize the size and speed of the Flyers. So not a good day in Flyers history. And then in 2004, Smarty Mania hit its crescendo. The Belmont Stakes happened on this day. Smarty was looking to become the first Triple Crown winner in 26 years. Race went off, and he was a 2-5 favorite. Had a great start and ran a very good race. His opening mile and a quarter was fast enough to win all but 4 Kentucky Derbies. Unfortunately for Smarty, the Belmont Stakes is a mile and a half, and that final furlong, Birdstone was able to catch him and ended up winning the Belmont by a length, ending any hope of a Triple Crown. We were all disappointed, of course. Smarty Jones, though, great horse. I don't want to take anything away from him. Excellent horse, but Smarty Jones in 2004 losing the Belmont Stakes was just another in a long line of Philly sports disappointment. This is putting William Penn on top of the Comcast Center. So we were, fortunately, we didn't realize it at the time, but we were nearing the end of the curse of Billy Penn. But it stung because we were looking for anything to kind of hang our hats on. And Smarty ran a great race. His jockey and trainer said he was a little tight never kind of got calmed down the week leading up to the race, and went out super fast and died that last quarter mile. And many horses it happens to. Belmont is also this weekend, but it's a mile and a half, while the other two are a mile and a quarter. But Smarty Mania swept the area. It was a lot of fun. And I think I had a lot of people comment on this when we talked about winning the Preakness. I think people all kind of undersell how insane we were for this horse at the time, because we're like, it's a horse. But trust me, if you weren't here or you're too young to remember, this area was enamored, in love with this horse. And just a disappointing end, but to run 3 great races like that. Smarty Jones, thank you for giving us something to root for, because our teams were terrible. Although we were about to embark on the whole TO. I guess TO was here and training camp was going to start, and TO Mania was about to happen that summer. But Smarty kind of bridged the gap for us.
It's time for Fridays with AI, where we ask AI to rewrite Philly sports history. Every Friday, only on This Day in Philly Sports History.
That's right. It is Friday. That means it's time for Fridays with AI, brought to you by Philly Goat. Philly Goat has you covered for your Philly sports apparel needs. Go to phillygoat.com. Scroll through the site. Father's Day is coming up. Their shirts are amazing. I mean, I don't know of one bad shirt on the website. Get dad something good for Father's Day and use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off your order, and tell your dad Happy Father's Day. That's phillygoat.com, promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off of your order. All right, so when AI came this week for our weekly discussion, we decided we were going to have some fun. We have the tournament going on, but we wanted to have some fun. Things kind of slow down in the summertime once the NBA and NHL seasons are over. I'm sure you've noticed that more of our events that we talk about are turning into more and more Philly stuff. So we wanted to have some fun. So we kind of came up with a sort of plan. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. AI sometimes gets fritzy. But we're going to have some summertime fun. Schools are letting out. Either your kids are done school, they will be done school. Maybe you finish up today, and that means summer camp. So today I was like, well, what would happen if we did a Philly sports summer camp run by athletes past and present, a little sleepaway camp, so to speak. What came back was absolutely crazy from AI. So our camp counselors, Chuck Bednarik, Jalen Hurts, Allen Iverson, Tyrese Maxey, Mike Schmidt, Bryce Harper, Bobby Clark, Travis Konechny, Brian Dawkins, and Saquon Barkley. They're all paired up, just like how I read. They're all in charge of a cabin. It was insane. So day one, Monday, everybody comes in, checks in. Chuck Bednarik is the head counselor. He's greeting everybody. Gets everybody together, says who's in shape, who thinks they're in shape. Immediately, half the campers just start groaning because they know what's about to happen. Some of them are murmuring, talking about, we're going to quit. We're leaving. Jalen Hurts just says, hey, survive one. And then, of course, Bednarik quips, if you're going to quit, it's less paperwork for me to fill out. All right, so Tuesday, Iverson and Tyrese Maxey led the way, and it quickly turns into the most chaotic day of camp. Maxey was trying to do some structured drills. Iverson, no structure, talking about practice. Practice at summer camp. Practice. So they split the teams into two groups, team fundamentals, team figure it out. By noon, they're all playing one-on-one, and winner take all. They were playing each other for lunch. It was just absolute chaos because that's how it would be. All right, so the next day, Mike Schmidt and Bryce Harper run the competition day. Everything becomes a contest. Hitting drills turn into home run derbies. Base running turns into sprints in the outfield. Lunch turns into who can finish their food first. Food fight even breaks out. Mike Schmidt keeps trying to slow everything down. Bryce Harper keeps pushing the limits. Nobody's listening to Mike Schmidt. It's chaos all around. So again, more chaos. 3 days, 3 chaos so far. And then the Flyers take their turn on Thursday. Bobby Clark and Travis Konechny, they decide to do a little team building and capture the flag. Within 10 minutes, no rules are followed. There's alliances, there's fighting. Alliances are formed, alliances are break. Someone even checked one of the camp counselors. Bobby Clark, though, is loving life. It's the best teaching day we ever had. And, of course, Travis Konechny, known for being annoying, says, this is just a normal Thursday for me. Finally, on Friday, things calm down a little bit as Saquon and Brian take over. Shift in tone. There's no chaos. There's no yelling. There's order. But there's a ton of pressure on everybody. At the end of the day, Brian Dawkins gives his speech. It's all fired up. Leadership is consistency. I need every doggone thing y'all got. And then Saquon Barkley says leadership is showing up when nobody wants to. Campers are taking notes. Everybody's doing reverse hurdles over everybody. By far the best day of camp. And then Saturday, we're adding an extra day here. AI called it the recovery day. Didn't necessarily go as planned. Chuck Bednarik is still trying to get these guys ready to run 60 minutes playing both ways. Allen Iverson says, even though we're supposed to be recovering today, let's play a little one-on-one. Bryce Harper says, who can stretch the most as they're recovering? One camper asked if this is still recovery or are we back in camp? Tyrese Maxey says no. That's it. Just no. And then finally, our final day, Sunday, is championship day. The final test for all of our campers. Obstacle course, Philly sports trivia, relays. And the winner was Brian Dawkins and Saquon Barkley's camper. But somehow throughout this camp, nobody quit. Everyone improved. And nobody got yelled at too much except for by Bednarik. So after one full week in Philly summer camp, essentially the conclusion is you don't just survive Philly camp, you get changed by it. And that's what we want out of our athletes. We want that effort. We see it all the time. Guys come in here and they quickly learn. You either embrace playing in Philly or you get eaten alive. But that's what we had. Summer camp run by our Philly sports stars, past and present. We will continue to do more summer camp and more summer themed things. AI again was a little wonky yesterday, so didn't give as much detail as they normally do. But what do you think about Philly sports summer camp? Which would be your favorite camp counselors to play under? All right, and that is Fridays with AI, brought to you by Philly Go. Listen, they're not all winners. We'll do better next week, and that's all I have to say about that. All right, it is tournament time, though. Sheesh. Rough crowd. Anyway, they ought to. But again, I feel like Howard Stern here. The writers need to go back and do better. That they all can't be gold. But the tournament is brought to you by BeachCaddy.app. If you are in Sea Isle City, Stone Harbor, Ocean City, Wildwood, or Avalon this summer, Beach Caddy has you covered. They're going to take the stress out of your Jersey Shore vacation. Whether you're staying for a week or coming down for the day, they got something for you. If you're coming down for a couple nights, even a week or longer, they're going to move you in and move you out. Takes that added stress out of it. You don't start your vacation off angry, hot, and sweaty. You can go to the beach, have a drink while they're moving all your stuff in. It's called their bellhop service. And, of course, the best beach carts on the Jersey Shore, the nice big wheels that glide over the sand. So go to beachcaddy.app. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% your move-in, move-out service as well as your beach cart rentals, because Beach Caddy is going to take the stress out of your Jersey Shore vacation. All right, I told you this. We had another close one yesterday. Markieff Morris and Lewis Lloyd tied based on the fact that Markieff Morris had a better post-high school career. He is moving on to fight another day. Today we go back to the Overbrook region and we have a 6-11 matchup. And this is a very, very interesting matchup to go into the weekend with. We have the number 6 seed Deontay Christmas taking on the number 11 seed Maurice Rice. First, Christmas spent 4 years at Fells. He was an honorable mention All-Public League as a junior. Led the city in scoring his senior year. First team All-Public League. Third team All-City. From there, he spent a year postgraduate at Lutheran Christian Academy, where he became one of the top 40 prep athletes in the country. Stayed home, went to Temple, where he was just an absolute stud. One of my all-time favorite Temple players. Two-time All-A-10, first team, one-time A10, All-A-10 second team. He was a two-time Atlantic 10 tournament MVP. Led the Owls to 2 NCAA tournament berths, scored over 2,000 points, only became the 4th player in Temple history to do that. He's still in their top 10 as 3-point shooting percentage, and he led the A10 in scoring 3 times. Played a little bit over in Greece where he won a championship, was the leading scorer in that Greek league, had a cup of coffee in the NBA with the Suns before going back over to Europe. So Deontay Christmas is our 6th seed, taking on Maurice Rice from Strawberry Mansion. Now, if this was strictly based on high school, this would still be a tough one, but I think Maurice Rice would win. So Deontay Christmas's post-high school career certainly helped him out here. But Maurice Rice was one of the most electric players, not only in Philly, but Pennsylvania high school basketball history. He broke the Philadelphia scoring record set by Wilt that stood forever. Played against LeBron James at the Palestra and made him look silly, even though LeBron's team won. Crossed him over and just showed that, look, dude, you might be the chosen one, but I'm pretty damn good myself. He was the PIAA 4A Player of the Year. Went to George Washington, where he was the Atlantic 10 Sixth Man of the Year, made all A10 and all A10 tournament team, won the tournament MVP, and then late in his career, injuries, some suspensions, some miscommunications from the coaching, kind of ended his college career on a sour note at GW. But Maurice Rice, one of the most electric players to ever, if not the most electric player to ever play high school hoops in Pennsylvania. That is our 11th seed. Now it's your turn. Who moves on in the Overbrook region? Deontay Christmas or Maurice Rice? Hit me up on any of my social media. The Back to the Future voice and text line, 267-495-8531. Get your votes in. You have all weekend. Do a little research. It's going to rain on Sunday. But this is a great matchup, an underrated matchup, because I could see this one going either way. I really could. I love Deontay Christmas, but I remember watching highlights, and that game against LeBron's team at the Palestra was on TV. I remember watching that thinking, LeBron's good, but this kid, Maurice Rice, is He's the real deal. So who wins? Who moves on in the Overbrook region? Let me know. Don't worry about giving me any feedback on Fridays with AI this week. I get it. I'll do better next week. 2004 Smarty Mania reached its height as he was just edged out in the Belmont by Birdstone, losing by a length, ending the dream of a triple crown. Flyers go down 0-3 in the Stanley Cup Finals. Looked good early and then fell apart, giving up 6 straight goals. Reggie White was selected number 4 overall in the NFL supplemental draft on this day in '84. Sixers lose the NBA Finals to the Blazers, but there is a Philly tie there. Dr. Jack Ramsey was the head coach of the Blazers, so at least Philly did get something out of that. And in 1948, Richie Ashburn tied a Major League Baseball record for rookies, hitting in 23 consecutive games. We'll be back on Monday to recap Phil's White Sox. Of course, we're going to have another great matchup in the Ultimate Philly High School Basketball Figure Tournament. We'll update you on the Westchester Golden Rams, how they do. And, of course, any Eagles, Phillies, or Flyers news that breaks. But, again, we're entering that time where things are going to slow down a little bit, which is good because what it does is I have a couple changes, like tweaks from presentations and things like that. Got to work on a better AI presentation as well. But good things on the horizon. Be sure to check out the Philly Hall. Have a lot of fun doing that with Steve. And if you enjoy this podcast, you'll definitely enjoy that as well. But it's a feel-good Friday. Go enjoy. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History for June 5th, 2026. Get out and do something fun this weekend. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you.